Hey YouTube, Scott Stevens here. Hey, check this out. You want to get more recruiting hours for Dynasty mode. Here's how you do that. And it's not easy. I'll just start by that. There's all kinds of videos out there telling you how easy it is. It's not. It's not. I'm going to start with this. This is one of my dynasties I'm working on. It's East Carolina. They are very, very difficult to recruit with because nobody wants to go there. So you come in, you can see I'm in week 3, or we're 3-0 anyway. And you can see in the upper right-hand corner, I have currently 15 targets and 600 hours of recruiting for this particular week. And that fluctuates every single week. And it is based on a lot of different things that I'm going to show you now. Improving upon those things will improve the amount of hours that you have. All right, so right now I have 600, as opposed to my Miami Hurricanes dynasty that I'm doing on my live streams. That school I have about 1,000 hours a week. So you can see there's a 400-hour difference, and I'm going to show you the main reason. The main reason. This is what you're starting out as. You come down to your conference standings, and you can see right away we're in the American North, I believe. Yep. You can see East Carolina right here, and off to the right you see we are a 3-star school. The more stars you get, the more hours you have to recruit, because that's your prestige rating. The more prestigious you are, the more hours you have. So if you have a 1-star school, it's going to be very, very difficult to recruit. I'm having a hard time with just the 600, around 600 that I'm working with, and I'm a 3-star school. So a 3-star school will have more recruiting hours than a 2-star school, or even a 2.5-star school. And a 3.5-star program will have more recruiting hours than a 3. That is completely perfect logic. So the better your team prestige, the more recruiting hours you're going to get. So by improving your team over the years, you will get more recruiting hours. So it takes a while. It's not easy to do. Another thing to do, and this is a big, big boost, is your coach. You want your coach, not only your coach, but your offensive coordinator and your defensive coordinator. If you're looking for recruiting hours, this particular guy, I'm not focusing on recruiting. I'm doing that with my coach for the Hurricanes. We'll take a look at that in just a second. This guy, he's a motivator and a tactician. But if you move over to my offensive coordinator, who has an F prestige, he's fantastic. But if you look at his recruiting, that is one of his traits. You can see he's 1 of 4, 3 of 4, 2 of 4. He's pretty well advanced in the recruiting. So each one of those upgrades increases your recruiting. So if you look over to the right, like take number 3, always be cooking, always be recruiting, quarterback, increase weekly recruiting hours for defensive for quarterbacks. He doesn't have that particular one, but once he upgrades that one, he'll get more hours. So you want to upgrade your recruiting aspects of your coach. If you're looking for more recruiting hours, this is the way to go right here. This is the best way to do it. And once you get the top 8 done, you cannot unlock the bottom 8 until you have 2 top 5 classes. And I'll show you that because I've reached that in my Miami one. I'll show you that in just a second. But this is what you want to do to get more recruiting hours. This is the easiest way to do it. And again, not easy. You have to upgrade them as you get coins along the way in Dynasty. But you go to my defensive coordinator and look at his recruiting. He doesn't have a lot, but he's got some. Now, the key thing is these stack. Okay? So if I'm a recruiter as a head coach, my OC and my DC, if they're all recruiters, all those hours stack. So that's beautiful. Say this one, for instance, he has, this is on the defensive line, less time to fully scout, which I don't even scout anymore. I'm not even worried about that. I'm using the hours on sending the house and all that stuff. But more actions, increased weekly recruiting hours for defensive linemen. This stacks with the offensive coordinator. And if I had that, they would stack on top of mine. So that's how that works. So let's take a look here. This is like I said, this is my Carolina team. We have three, what did it say, 600 hours? All right, now let's take a quick look at my Hurricanes Dynasty, which I'm using on my live streams. Now, this team has won back-to-back national championships. By the way, I live stream every night, 6 o'clock, with this Miami Hurricanes team. Back-to-back national championships. Now, I can't look at the recruiting because I'm in the playoffs right now, and the recruiting is grayed out. But I'm working with 1,000 hours a week recruiting, and that is a huge difference than the 600 that we just saw. So if you come to look at the conference standings, my Hurricanes are in the SEC South, and you can see we are a 4.5-star school. So we have, right off the bat, with those 4.5 stars, we have more recruiting hours than East Carolina because they only are a 3-star program. And that's your base recruiting hours based on the stars. But then you come to your coach and you look at my guys here, and I have been very, very successful in recruiting with the Hurricanes here because this is what I focused on first, was getting me this. And all of my recruiting at the top here has been done. And these all increase. This one, recruiting hours, okay, for quarterback, increased weekly recruiting hours for running backs, increased weekly recruiting hours for wide receivers, tight ends. This is how you increase your recruiting hours the best way. All right, now I'm in the middle of my second recruiting class in the top 5. So once this season is finished, hopefully I'll hold on and I'll be able to unlock the bottom of these. And it gets even better. So this is the best way to do it. Stars for your program is very important, but that's your base amount of hours. You can increase those hours by improving upon your coach. But not only your coach, like I said, your offensive coordinator. This guy, Danny Boyd, he's also a recruiter. And he's pretty well into his recruiting. He only has 4 things he hasn't touched upon. And he gets all of these hour upgrades as well. But not only him, and I just actually, I don't know. Yeah, I just hired that guy. But my defensive coordinator, too, come in, and he is, I'd say, about 75% through the recruiting. And like I said, all of these stack. So that's how I'm up to about 1,000 hours. And I'm going by memory here because I've been in the playoffs for a couple days. I haven't recruited with the Hurricanes, but it's 1,000 hours or more. The last one I remember was 1,000 hours. So these all stack. This is the best way to improve upon your recruiting hours. You want more recruiting hours? Get your coaches and you can't control what your coordinators are doing. But when you go to hire a coordinator, you can look at their tree and see where they lie and what their specialties are. And you pick a guy that has the recruiting aspect unlocked and working on, and they will stack on top of yours. And that is the key thing. That is the best way to improve upon your recruiting hours. The number of stars your program has is your base number of recruiting hours. The lower your stars, the lower amount of hours you're going to have for recruiting. Increasing your coach and hiring coordinators with the recruiting aspect active is the best way to improve your recruiting hours. It's actually the only way, really. I mean, the stars increase over time with your program, and with each half-star increase, you get a few more hours every single time. But that takes a long time. That doesn't happen until the end of a full season. This you can do in a season. Now, this is hard to do as well. You have to collect the coins in order to do this, but this is done much faster, and you can see immediate results from improving upon your recruiting for your head coach. He's the only one you can control. You can't control your coordinators. So when you go to hire a coordinator, make sure you look on their tier tree. It says view tier tree. When you're looking at the guys that are available for hire, pick a guy with the recruiting aspect open and active, and they will stack on to what you already have. That is the way to get more recruiting hours for Dynasty, and it will make a difference in the amount of guys that you get to bring in. I hope this helps. See you next time.